thing I'm going to do now is check the radio control. Pretty essential. Make sure it's all working before I light the fire. Switch the radio control on here. Now it's on the engine. Switch it on here. That's working. That's the throttle. Throttle closed. And that's the reverser. I did charge the batteries up in the roof here before I started this. I've already filled the cylinder lubricator here. I know that's full of oil. I've got the regulator closed and I've got the valve gear in mid-gear. Put the electric blower on the chimney. Make sure it's running. That's good. Lighter material, the lighting material, the dog poop material onto the shovel, and I'll try and light it. It's a bit windy on this corner here. I'll put it in the firebox and then try and light it. It's crumbling up a bit. My torch has gone out. Open the firebox up here. It's a bit nerve-wracking, this part of it. I've got to say, getting things lit up for the first time. See a little bit of flame going on there. I'll take a seat and get a little bit more comfortable while I'm firing it up. So far, so good. I get a little too enthusiastic at this point and put too much material into the firebox, and there's not enough air to burn it, so the flame goes out. Should have left it and let it burn through a bit more. Just give it a bit of a help with the old propane. And I put it out for a minute then for some reason. Just take the camera off the tripod so you can see inside there. You can see the tubes in the background. It's rather cool, isn't it? You can see the fan doing its thing. You can see the water dripping out of the water fill. So I'm going to put the hose on that. There we go. Stop that dripping so I'm not losing boiler water. I've got plenty of boiler water in the glass. You see the water right at the top of the glass. Fire's coming along pretty good. The engine's beginning to raise steam. Let's try it with the, see what happens with the door closed. See, I've put some holes in the back of the door to allow secondary air through. Primary air comes up through the ash pan. Secondary air through the top of the fire. Nothing yet on the pressure gauge. See if there's anything in the boiler yet. I'm just going to ease the safety valve. Oh yeah, there's some pressure in there. Probably splashed the lens. Yeah, I've splashed the lens. Everything seems to be going along quite nicely. There's a few pounds on the clock, and I'm just going to put a bit more on the fire. I'm not going to put any coal on yet until I actually get the steam blower working. Just going to give it a boost. Seem to have lost the flame in the fire for some reason. I wonder whether it's the ash pan that's a little bit cramped. No, it was me putting too much fuel in the fire again and smothering it. Got to stop doing this. Now I have sufficient pressure to change over from the electric blower to the steam blower. Let's see how that goes. seems to be working all right. Now I can disconnect this. Got enough pressure. We've still got plenty of water in the boiler. I'm going to add some coal, see what happens. Just a little bit at a time. You don't overwhelm the fire. I've got 25 pounds on the clock. I wish I'd take my own advice about putting too much in the firebox. I like the fact that the coal's the right size. It's going into the firebox door. Ooh, I can smell the smell of coal smoke. That's a good sign. The fire's gone out again, and I have to use the blow lamp. Okay, finally got the fire going. Took a while to get the coal really hot. Pump a bit more water in. Oops, let the boiler overfall. I turned the radio control gear on and opened the throttle. Okay, the engine's running all right. Nice and smooth. Lots of juicy water. Put a little bit more coal on. I've abandoned the most steam coal for the time being. I'm putting soft coal in. Try and keep things alive and well. Keep the blower on a little bit to see how that goes. Just bring the camera around a bit. You can probably see into the firebox. Then it was time to put it onto the tracks in the basement and attach it to a train. So here it comes. Steam and coal. Everything was a bit hectic and I only got a few circuits out of the thing before. It looked like it needed more water and the fire a good poking, but as it turned out, the fire went out. So I called it a day. So let's go and have a closer look at the engine now that it's cooled down a bit. So that run was a little bit hit and miss, I must say. One of the consequences of it was that the horn on the servo melted and the regulator at the control rod fell down and off. Sure, that was because of the flame from the propane torch, or it was just too hot for it. The other thing is, if I take this up and you tilt the camera up, you can see it's actually burnt some of the covering up the batteries here. That got a little bit too hot. There's a little bit of distortion on the radio receiver here. I think it must have been the flame coming up from the propane torch that did that. Let's have a look at the firebox. Pretty full of unburnt coal. Tubes are still free. Okay, let's go and take a look around the front. Got that open. Need to ease the door a little bit with my knife. It shuts rather close. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of dust in there. Bit of the old coal dust has got down amongst there, but I put some quite dusty coal in to try and light it up. But not block the tubes. So let's come forward with the blast from the jet and from the nozzle Hi there.
Hey.
It's my daughter come back from being in town. Now I'm going to have a look in the ash pan, see what that looks like. So I've got to get this up a bit further. It's a rather heavy locomotive. I think it weighs around about 10 to 12 pounds, which for a small scale engine like this is rather heavy. And now, get the pin out, I hope. There we go. It's the rear bogie off. That hasn't got too dirty, considering it's right at the back there where all the coal will fall down off the footplate. That's not bad. Let's drop the ash pan out and see what happens. You can see that that's pretty full, and a lot of it's unburnt coal. Quite a bit of it's ash, quite a bit of it's little bit of unburnt coal. Let's get the grate down. You can see here the grate's got a little bit choked. It's not too bad. Could have been a lot worse considering it's just holes. That was resting on there like that, so there was still enough space for air to get through and under, but I think I should provide a little bit more space for air. I'm going to work on that. So I mean, considering everything, I think the run was a bit messy. So there she is, a bit of a fort for steaming, but not bad considering. At least I kept the water level up in the boiler. The pump seems to work. Just need to find a way of getting that fire a little hotter and controllable without having to use the soft coal. So, over and out. Thanks for watching.